Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Get connected, Fitchburg. Sign up for Fitchburg Connect, the city's monthly e-newsletter that keeps you informed about all the events, services, and updates that matter to you. Get it in your inbox once a month. Sign up today to get Fitchburg Connect.
You're on, Donald.
All righty. Good early evening, everyone. I will call to order the Personnel Committee meeting on June 10th, 2026. The first order of business would be approval of the April 8th, 2026 Personnel Committee meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
All those in, well, I guess with this, it's just me and you, so we only need the move approval, so that passes. Our next agenda items would be public appearances for non-agenda items. Is anyone in the room?
No.
Nope. Okay. Sounds good. Then we will go to agenda item A, update for the city's drug-free policy, update to the city's drug-free workplace policy, adding random testing to the police staff with unrestricted access to the evidence and storage areas.
Absolutely. So I'm sharing my screen here so you can see what was in the packet. So what we're looking to do is to update the random drug testing policy. And it looks like my share isn't working, so just one moment. Well, it's in the packet. We're looking to authorize random drug test screening for just certain police employees who have unrestricted access to the evidence and storage areas. This comes to about, I believe it's 6 employees. 2 of them are represented, are union employees. So we did work with the union to make sure that they were aware of this policy that we're looking to put forth, and they were on board. Legal has also reviewed this, and they're on board with this. And it's not because there's any issue whatsoever, but as you know, the evidence and storage areas, there's drugs, there's other, other items in there that Chief Leahy can share with you, that we just want to make sure that we are just ensuring everyone's safety and adding just random drug testing for those certain police staff. So Leahy has been invited here if you have any questions pertaining to the new policy update. In addition, we'll always have an acknowledgement form for employees. So if an employee is going to be subjected to the random drug testing, we want to make sure that they know that and they are okay with that before taking like an evidence technician special assignment or being assigned to the evidence and storage areas. Matt, did you want to add anything?
No, I think you pretty much covered it all. I'm hoping everybody can hear me. I haven't tested my speakers on my laptop here, but yeah, I think it's obviously a change now that we have our full-time evidence and property manager. I think this is kind of a push to have that level of security. It's probably long overdue from a drug testing standpoint or random drug testing standpoint, but I think everybody who's been assigned to the either an evidence technician or myself with access to the evidence room and high security, it's just one layer of protection that we can ensure that we're dealing with best practices from a police department standpoint.
And this is something that's done in a number of municipalities, police departments. So this isn't abnormal. This is pretty much a best practice.
Understood. Alderman Maldonado, any other further questions?
No, I was looking through the policy. I'm assuming the red is what's being added and the black is kind of what's been there previously.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. I don't have any issue or question. It seems pretty straightforward. Just out of curiosity, is like, are certain professions regularly drug tested, and which ones? I mean, police obviously is the one we're here to talk about, but is that kind of standard in other areas across the city where there's like physical labor or?
Yeah, that's a great question. The only other positions that we have random drug testing and pre-employment drug testing on is our public works. So they're mandated by the DOT to have, because they're driving heavy equipment, they're in safety sensitive positions. Therefore, they are required by federal law to have random drug test screening. So again, that's just our public works maintenance workers and anyone that holds a commercial driver's license with the city. But beyond police and fire and public works employees, those are the only three groups of employees that are subjected to drug testing. Of course, if we had a reasonable suspicion, there's that. So any employee, if we thought maybe they were under the influence, because of our drug-free workplace policy, we could send them in. But as far as pre-employment and random drug testing, those three groups are the only ones that are subjected to that.
Okay, great. Just more of a philosophical, I see the issue of like going further up around like cannabinoid products.
Yep.
With marijuana starting to become legal in different states, obviously not fully legal here. What does that mean for the landscape of kind of employment, HR? Obviously, like alcohol is legal and people drink, but they don't drink on the job. But cannabis stays in your system a lot longer than alcohol. Is that like somebody using recreationally on their own time? Stays in their system for a month. Could somebody get disciplinary action if there's like a minimal trace amount that's found?
Yeah, with federal rules and regulations, absolutely. They can't have any trace of it. So even if they went and traveled to a state where it was legal or they were using it outside of work hours, they can't have any trace of THC when they get their drug test, if they get subjected to a random. So that's why we put the CBD products policy part in, I think back in 2018, just because it was beginning to be pretty popular. People were taking, different types of CBD or other types of, things that they could buy at local stores. That we just want to make sure that people knew that, if it presents a positive test result, it may have an implication to their job. And again, that's federal guidelines. Now, when it comes to police and fire, I think it might be similar, but we only randomly drug test public works employees. Pre-employment is for police and fire. So if we did a pre-employment on a potential police officer and that person tested positive with THC, that would likely present an issue of them being able to be hired. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong.
Understood. More of a curiosity question. Thank you for engaging.
Yeah, absolutely. Great questions. Well, we're kind of watching the horizon on this too. If it ever were to become legal, it's still going to be federally, they still can't be able to drive a safety sensitive vehicle and test positive. But yeah, it'll be interesting, as years go by and things change, how our policies will change on this.
Cool, thank you. Hearing that, I will entertain a motion to update the city's drug workplace policy. Did you say so move?
Yes. So
okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Perfect. Well, that motion will carry. Agenda item B is the update to the meal and break period policy.
Yeah, my apologies. We actually brought this to you at the last meeting, and when we brought it to you, it actually talked about public works operations staff having some different parameters, and we found that actually they follow the same meal and break policy as the city. So this is really just a clarification. It's not a change to practice. So Part-time employees that work at least 4 hours in a day, who are here for 4 hours in a day, they get a 15-minute break. So essentially, they're working 3.75 hours to get that 15-minute break. So we just want to clarify that, but no changes to our past practice or how we currently do the meal and break periods. Just trying to clarify.
Sounds good. Thank you for that. I entertain a motion for approval of this policy.
No questions on my end. Move to approve.
Sounds good. Thank you, Alder Maldonado. That passes and carries forward. Item C is the update to the termination of employment policy.
Yeah, so sometimes people leave employment. This is rare, but sometimes, you might have someone who decides, what, I'm not gonna put in a notice, and maybe they don't collect all of their items. This happened to us, and we kind of didn't know, what parameters to follow. We ended up shipping the items to the former employee, and the city paid for those expenses. But we just wanted to add in that if someone were to leave employment, they're responsible for collecting all of their belongings from the workspace, and if there's anything left behind, we will definitely contact them, let them know, and then if we don't hear from them in 7 days, or then we'll just discard, or if they would like it to be mailed, they'll be responsible for all the shipping and handling costs, as opposed to the city, boxing it all up and shipping it to them if they don't live here in state. So we just wanted to add some clarification there so we knew what to do if this situation were to happen again.
Sounds good. Any questions, Alder Maldonado? You're on mute.
No questions. No questions for me. I move to approve.
Sounds good. That item carries, moves forward. Our next item, agenda item D, is the approval to add a career ladder series for IT specialists. Approval to add the classification of IT specialist 2 in pay grade H on the non-represented pay plan.
Yeah, so we have a current classification of IT specialist in pay grade G, and we're always looking for opportunities where we can have some career ladders. So in the past few years, we've created like a code enforcement inspector series, an engineering technician series, an engineer growth series. So this is the same concept, looking for ways that we can promote our staff who gain additional experience, maybe additional certifications, and allow for career advancement so that we don't lose people. So our IT director, Nick Joseph, we worked together, and he put together this job description for an IT specialist 2. We sent it in for position study. We use a third party called Carlson Detman to perform all of our position studies. And using the point factor system, they identified that yes, the IT specialist 2 would be 1 pay grade higher than the IT specialist 1. So we're really excited. It's always nice to be able to create these career ladders and offer growth for employees. So we're looking forward to adding this new classification if approved tonight.
So currently, would someone just like slide into this position currently, or would they be like a full-blown search, or how will it?
Yeah. So we currently have one IT specialist. Well, we have 2 IT specialists. One just started 2 weeks ago. And what we have for agenda item 4E is approval to reclassify an existing full-time IT specialist to the full-time IT specialist 2. So we are hoping to reclassify someone who's been here for a few years now and meets all of the requirements of the IT specialist 2. So he has all of this experience, the 2 years of identity and access management experience, the 2 years in mobile device management, and 4 years of the experience in desktop hardware and software support. So he meets those qualifications. That's the next item, is to see if we can reclassify an existing IT specialist 1 to the 2 level.
So then what will happen to the person who just started 2 weeks? So I guess what I'm trying to understand is, like, if the other person who has been there for a while moves into 2, and then will we just leave, and then we'll have one person that's IT specialist 1, and then could that person essentially go to IT specialist 2 and we have 2, or and 1 vacant, or like can we have 2 people in that same role simultaneously?
absolutely. So we can
Julia?
definitely have someone, we can have two IT specialists too. The one that we just hired a couple weeks ago, he's pretty brand new into the IT world. He meets obviously the requirements of the level 1 with a couple of years of experience, but he doesn't meet the 2 level experience. So once he gains those years of experience and the different certifications, not certifications, those IAM and MDM required experience, then as long as it's budgeted, then Nick can put it in his budget to reclassify this existing brand new IT specialist 1 to a 2. But typically that's how departments would budget for that, is they would, through the budget process, present it to council for approval for that following year. So in a couple of years, you might see Nick putting through a reclassification request for his existing IT specialist 1.
Gotcha. Okay. Any more questions, Alderman Maldonado?
No, Sarah mentioned what I was going to ask, so it was, just to shorten this, it seems like it would require some long-term planning from our department head in order to kind of get ready for where the level 1 person is going to be in a couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the manager to kind of look at their departments, like when you look at our engineers or building inspection, to kind of see, your code enforcement inspectors, your engineering technicians, who might be ready for the next level, and then making sure they work that into their budget.
Okay, and how much more is the salary? I'm looking at that third document. I assume that it's there, but I'm trying to scan through it and find it. What's the difference between the 2 pay scales?
Yeah. So the 2 pay grade, they're 1 pay grade difference. So I believe that's 5%. The incumbent who gets reclassified will get a 5% pay increase through the reclassification.
Okay.
And that's dictated by the employee handbook. So any reclassifications, it's always a minimum of 5% pay increase.
Excellent.
Yep.
Gotcha. So I'll entertain a motion to move that forward.
Move to approve.
And then simultaneously, since we kind of have talked about it and put it into conjunction with this previous motion, entertain the motion to reclassify I think JD Yim from Specialist 1 to Specialist 2. You agree, Joe?
Not sure if folks can hear me. I'm getting a freeze, but I moved to reclassify.
Cool. Thank you. Then that motion carries. And then now we will transition to the next part of the agenda, which is the report from the department. And we are giving an update on current projects and updates, specifically around our engagement survey, new HRIS, and the youth government days.
Excellent. So last year, January, we implemented our first culture and engagement survey. This is the first time the city had software to work with to be able to have a third party administer a culture and engagement survey. And then we have this for 2 years. So we're going to be sending out a new survey, the same questions, so that we can measure, if we're improving, if we still have some challenges. That'll go out on July 6th. So we'll measure our progress from last year and then report back and do, additional action planning based on the results. But super excited to launch that on July 6th. So it's really nice to have access to software to be able to put this out there for employees and to know that it's completely confidential. I can't, no one in the city can see individual ratings or comments that people are putting in there. I can see the comments, but I can't see who wrote what, which is really nice. So so we're excited about the engagement survey launch in July.
And then the software analyzes the data for you too? Yeah,
it does. Yep. And it also helps with action planning. So it can give you some ideas on things that you can do to help increase the engagement scores. And it can go by department. So there are demographics in there so that we can measure by department what the engagement level is like. But of course, for departments with really low numbers, if you have less than 4 employees, it's not going to break down that information, because then you can kind of identify who's saying what, because we identify by gender, race. There's a number of factors so that we can measure, for example, older employees feel happier here than younger employees, or do women feel happier here? There's things that we can look at and assess. But it's really, really nice software. We've really enjoyed working with Quantum Workplace.
Sarah, what kind of response rates do you usually get on employee engagement surveys?
Yeah, that's a great question. Last year, I want to say we had, was it like 75%? Oh boy, put me on the
Oh, that's
spot.
great.
I know that we.
No, that's really good.
Yeah, we really
That's
pushed it. And I mean, I think we even bought donuts for everybody if we met a certain amount. I think we had 100 responses out of 190 full-time employees, which I know that sounds like
I don't want to.
not enough, but maybe that's not right. I might be butchering that. So
No,
I can get back to you for
I
sure.
understand. I definitely understand that it's not easy to collect surveys. I don't want to like put departments on blast, but are there certain departments that maybe do better than others in terms of response rates?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely see that.
Okay. Okay. Great. Well, that sounds good. I'm glad that this is information that consistently gets collected, and looking forward to seeing the results of these.
Yeah, same here. Yes, I'll bring you an update at our next personnel committee meeting because I'll have the results ready. And then we're working on a new HRIS, Human Resources Information System. So we're working with payroll so that we have a one-stop shop for employees for all of their HR payroll needs. So it's a big transition. We're going to be targeting July 1st to be moving into this for all payroll, and then the HR components will come as time allows. So we'll be moving all our performance evaluations, all of our onboarding, new hire forms, all of the HR fun into a system called UKG. So UKG will be implemented in July. And then lastly, Youth Government Days, save the date, August 24th through the 27th. That's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Free, you can register right now. We're accepting registrations. Food, snacks, lunch is free and offered all 4 days. There's just not transportation, so we meet at different locations each one of those days, but you're there for the whole day. So for example, we'll be at fire station, I believe it's 3 for one of the days. So pick up and drop off and pick up will be at the same location for, whatever. If you drop them off, you'll pick them up at the same location, but we just don't have transportation if someone were to need that. But we're really excited. This is a great way for youth to get hands-on experience with the types of careers that are in government, and we hope that we're building a pipeline and people remember their time here and maybe apply once they get older and come back to government.
Sounds good.
Sarah, is there anything you need support on from alders besides like showing up? I know there's like that time we usually come speak to the youth. Are there other support systems that you need from us?
I think if anything, just sharing with your constituents, that we have this, and as you talk to people who have middle school age youth, that's the age group that we're trying to target. Please share and spread the word. We always kind of fill up pretty fast, so if they're interested, it's always usually the last week in August. They should sign up right away. But yeah, just continue, talking about it if you can and sharing it with your networks. That always helps us quite a bit.
Great. I'll promote with some of our H&I organizations because it's likely, any of them that serve youth would probably want to send some of their young people to this.
Absolutely. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a group coming. I'm bringing a group from one city. So
yeah, yep, I heard. Thank you. I hope they enjoy
no problem.
I know
I'm
they
sure.
What's the capacity of youth participants?
So we have 15, and that doesn't count the one city group. So we have 15 open slots, and I haven't checked with Sarah to see who's signed up yet. As of when we launched it, June 1st, I think is when we opened up registration. So I don't think that we're filled up quite yet, but I do know that we've had some I don't know how many people, but I know we had at least somebody register. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're almost full. But please, I can find out and I can let you know if you want before you share it, just to save you on that.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Donald, since you're doing double duty and are on the board, maybe some time set aside during that week to talk about youth and governance at the county, because some of these middle schoolers may want to try that when they're in high school.
Sounds good.
That's all I've got.
All right. Okay. Anything else, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our next agenda item is announcements, and our next meeting will be Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. And if there's nothing else from anyone, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time for everyone and getting through this meeting. And Sarah, and Chad, we appreciate the updates. Talk to you guys
Thank you
soon.
both.
Thanks, Donald.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Joe.
Take care all.
Bye-bye.